Yes. Yes, we're live. Hi. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hey. So, unfortunately, one of our players couldn't make it this time. And last week we were planning to stream, but it turns out that, like, everyone but two couldn't make it. So we decided that last week we didn't do a stream, and this week we do stream, even though we're missing one. But instead of continue our adventure, which we're all very eager to do, and would prefer to do, we're doing something else instead.
I'm Puck. Yeah, the camera switched on Puck.
No, that's not the camera. That's me failing.
Fair
Hey, I'm honest, mostly.
enough. Still not fail.
Better? Are you happy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but, I mean, that's better.
Oh, not happy. Oh. So yeah, today we're gonna do the first of probably several small mini adventures that's somewhat tied together by a story that will soon be revealed. It will be awesome.
You're going to be the DM?
Yes,
Woohoo!
I'm gonna be the DM. Yay! I know what I'm doing. I promise.
We trusted
Yeah.
you before that big pause.
I was waiting for like encouraging confirmation.
Oh dear. I was thinking of something really, really evil. What can we do to the DM?
Oh,
so that's how you
please.
think.
Yeah, I mean, everything you do now, you will get back tenfold.
True.
That was going to be a bit of a dick and be like, so what we do in the night, DM? Through here?
Well, not streaming. Bye.
Hey?
No, we do stream. We are streaming.
Oh, and Happy New Year to everybody.
Do we?
Oh yeah, Happy
Yeah.
New Year's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I suppose I should set the scene and explain what we're actually doing. So, our not quite yet heroes are located in the coastal city of Southport, where they are chained and collectively in a group being brought through some back doors, through some alleyways, in to an office. Did you just miss the whole start?
No, I had to readjust my hat. But I did. We were being chained and we're brought into an office.
Yes. And as you walk and being led to this building, you realize that this is not just some random office building. This is one of the annexes to the city hall. And you're being led into this building by a really obscure back door you wouldn't have expected was there. And you're led up some poorly lit wooden stairs, and suddenly you find yourself in a very nice hallway that's conveniently been emptied of people except a couple of guards that's standing in front of two wooden double doors. The place is quite nicely decorated. There's wooden carvings, some pedestal with vases. There's even two benches in this rather large hallway. And as the guards at the door see you being led by a guard, they knock on the door to announce that you're there. And it doesn't take long before the door is open from the inside. And you're all being led into an office of sorts that looks almost like a courtroom, except that the normal scene of having like lots of benches and then having a little of a little partition or banister in the middle, and then having like the different places for the judge and everything to sit. There's no benches. There's just a partition, and in front of the partition on the other side, there's a really fancy desk. And the whole back of the room is just filled with cabinets and bookshelves that's completely stacked with books, scrolls, and stacks of paper. And inside of the doors, there's also 2 sets of guards, and at the desk itself, there's a lady with very pale skin that has a slight tint of blue to it, and long white hair, 2 long ears, and really pale blue eyes. You might recognize this description because this lady appeared in another one-shot. And could quickly, before I ruin too much, I'm gonna wait with the name. Actually, I'm gonna wait with the name. But some of you might recognize her. And she's wearing a very long robe that basically displays her outfit. It's the robe itself is blue and red with silver threading and silver details. And some of you might think this is relevant. The guard leads you up right in front of the banister and connects the chain to it, so you can't move away, and then stands to guard, keeping careful watch at you.
Are we all chained together?
Yes.
Okay.
You're all chained together, and the chain is now chained to the
And it's just the 4 of us?
banister. Yes, there's the 40 of you. There's 2 guards at the door. There's a guard at the banister, and then the lady sitting in front of her desk. And as you're being chained to the banister, she looks you over. And what does she see? Who does she see? What do you look like?
Who wants to go first?
Well, Skinner is a stout halfling. He's a very short, child-sized little fella who has kind of long, like a dark brown, kind of poofed out hair, like a crazy person. He has a long beard as well, very scraggly, very dirty, very. He has a kind of a Cajun kind of a look to him. He looks kind of a swamp dweller, swamp, like kind of a swamp folk kind of a person. He has crooked eyes, like a boxer. Like one of his eyes is kind of looking at one direction, one is kind of forward. He is missing a lot of teeth, and they're really like brown and all that. And he's wearing pretty much like this kind of a medieval version of like Snake Plissken, kind of like from
Yes.
like MGS3, kind of like camo clothes with a lot of straps and that sort of stuff on him. He would have had like a crossbow on his back and a backpack, but I'm guessing all that kind of material.
All your like items and weapons have been taken.
Yeah, but he has like what's described in the character background and all that. He has those crazy eyes. He has the eyes of somebody who's seen too much shit in his lifetime. So he has that look of being a little bit unhinged, but yeah, pretty much like a swamp dweller halfling.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Puck is a little blue water gassy. She's got pink hair and she's got white bangs and she's got seafoam green eyes and seafoam green shirt with red trim and a little shark tooth necklace. She's got gills and fins on the side of her face, and she's just looking around.
I love that.
Nicely done. Rufus is a older gentleman, about 5 foot, normal human, short for his age, I suppose. He's got brown eyes, he's bald, and has a white goatee. From what I can tell, I think he just wears sort of like robes, sort of cut off at the arms, if I can remember. Nothing too spectacular. It looked like something you would probably wear if you were out gardening. But he looks pretty chiseled in the arms, as at least. When it comes to weapons, I don't think he really has any unless they let him have his walking stick. That's up to them.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have walking stick at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cloak is a gnome. She is. She doesn't. You have probably will have a hard time acknowledging her or seeing her as a gnome because she doesn't really look the part. She is wrapped from head to toe in bandages, brown colored bandages. Here and there, there's a little bit of blondish hair sticking out, and there's one eye that is not covered with with bandages, and you're not sure if it's because it's just the one eye peeking out, or if it's actually a little bit too big for her face, and it just kind of looks around, and she's very. You can tell, depending on is she wearing her cloak or not.
She probably would be wearing a cloak.
Okay. You can tell that she is from the shape of her body. She's not appears not to really be standing up straight, so she seems even smaller than she actually already is, and she's wearing a cloak that is covered in moss and leaves and stuff, and all very autumn colored, and even her hands are just covered with rags, and here and there there's a bit hanging off, and yeah, she's just standing there, and this one eye is just looking around scared.
The longest any of you actually has been like locked up now is for about a week. You've been brought here pretty quickly after you've been picked up for various reasons. So some of you probably haven't really felt the effects of being locked up yet too much, except for some general fright of this unusual situation. The lady sitting at the desk, she looked up and down, looks to the side on her desk. It's filled with papers, a couple of books and some scrolls. It looks pretty neatly arranged, even though it's really crowded. And the desk itself is maybe like that's a foot. Maybe 8 feet. Yeah, 8 feet or something in total. And she sits there in the middle of it, and the desk itself, it's really nicely carved and sturdy, and it looks like it was quite expensive to make. And the chair she sits on is high backed, has nice padding, and is embellished with carvings and reliefs. She looks to the side, lifts some papers, and pulls one out, and looks it down at it, and then looks up at you again. Yes,
Wave.
you must be this group. Right. Let's start with yes, cloak. And she looks you over. Are you trying to like dodge out of?
Yeah, if there's
attention?
somebody, if is she the one in front or?
They're basically all standing on a line now in front.
Oh,
Of the
okay. Then
partition.
she's kind of trying to whoever's next to her who seems the brawniest. She'll probably go like kind of stepping behind him or her.
Yes, you must be Puck. No, Cloak. You must be Cloak. Accused of kicking. No, accused of attacking a guard. You dare attack the city's defenders? That takes quite a lot of bravery or foolishness. Do you have something to say to your defense? You confess? I need to hear you speak the words.
I did it.
All right. Puck,
Hi.
you're a bright one,
Yeah.
and that's your natural state?
Being happy? Yeah.
Yes. Well, it seems that some people claims you're a warlock.
No,
No?
I'm a wizard. I learned my spells from books.
Just like any warlock could say. All of you know this, that warlocking or warlockery.
Witchcraft.
Yes, witchcraft.
Warlockmanship.
Or most magic associated with like demons and fiends, it's outlawed in the city. And
I know why you think that, because I speak Abyssal, right? And Primordial and Deep Speech. Okay, yeah, I sound like a warlock, but I'm not.
You're not the warlock.
I'm not a warlock.
Can you prove this?
You took my spell book, and I can't do anything.
Can't or won't?
I can't.
Do you have any evidence to support this?
No, because you took it. It's my spell book.
So, if you were to regain your spell book, you could prove this.
Yes. By doing spells.
All right. I suppose you would like to see a court at some point.
I don't know. I just want to go.
Well. I'm sorry, Han.
Oh?
And she moves on from you. Skinner.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I suppose this one should be true then. Says that you're accused of general loitering and vagrancy.
Well, let me tell you, ain't gonna be no loitering in the outback, when it's a swamp, there ain't gonna be no Alabama dream going on into the good old boy. They're gonna do what they want.
Yes or no?
We ain't gonna be no ditch swat going on into wrecking out up and down everywhere I've been going on. Yep.
Damn it, Boomhauer, I'm going to kick your ass.
Yep.
This lady, she looks at you, and she's trying really hard to make out what you're saying, and and I don't think she does. And she just looks you up and down, looks at the paper.
Guilty.
Yes. And essentially just moves on to Rufus. And goes, right, Rufus, the last one here today. Oh.
I think there's been a mistake.
Oh, really?
I just want to go home.
Me too.
Did you get permission?
Maybe? I can't remember.
You can't remember.
I just remembered I left the window open and I needed to do some my gardening.
Ah, well, it says here that you did leave without leave.
I don't know.
Alright.
You tell me.
Well, unless you can prove differently, I'm gonna have to go with my sources. So, you're all here because you committed or been accused of committing some crime or another. Those of you who would like to disprove these claims and challenge them, you may do so. I will give you a date to appear in court in a few months' time. The cost of facing these charges and defending yourself will accumulate to a total of 1,000 gold.
I don't have
Each.
that much.
That needs to be paid upfront. Those of you who confess, you will be offered in exchange of some small services.
That shadow priest is still interrupting everyone, by the way.
I wrote this somewhere. Yes, you will be offered a writ of absolution, including with a residency permit that will give you right to stay in the city unattested. And to gain this gold, if you cannot pay up front right now, which I assume you can't, or to gain this writ of absolution, you have been selected to form a group that will help the city with various problems.
Some kind of suicide squad.
So,
Damn government
no.
interfering with my freedom.
No. Don't go suiciding here, please. That creates more of a mess. I would like less messes. So, what I'm offering you is to go on this mission, and for each mission, you will gain a token. And if you confess to being guilty, you'll need to accumulate a total of 10 tokens. Each token can be traded in for 50 gold for those of you who wish to challenge these accusations. To make sure that you will carry out these tokens, you will all be fitted with a bracelet.
Is it pretty?
Some might say so. These bracelets will help us locate you if you were to divert from your missions. And it will also help to bring you down. Help to track you down and to bring you down if you do try to run or do not wish to compete with these missions. Does this sound acceptable to you?
So, what happens to people who don't admit their crime?
Those who don't admit to crime, well, you can always challenge them in court. As I said, the cost to challenge them in court is the 1,000 gold. And if you wish to decline this, well, I guess you'll go back to the hold. And I have no guarantees of when your case will be brought up. I'm trying to address the misdemeanor of the law system and the court system. All of you would know the Southport is kinda acknowledged or infamous for having about the worst like law system in like this part of the land. Basically, if you end up in jail, you stay in jail until someone thinks it's a good idea to let you out. Not because you had a chance to like dispute your case or anything, unless you have a lot of money. It's quite broken and it's quite corrupt. This is like a known fact. Uh,
It's run by the man.
yeah. And yeah. So, what I'd like you to do is to do some minor missions. While you do these missions, you will be fitted with the bracelet. You'll be allowed to stay at a residence of sort in the city, not the jail. You will be given some rations so you can carry out these missions. And once you have accumulated the tokens needed to be free if you admit to your charges, you will be let go. And if you wish to challenge in court, well, you will be allowed to do so after you gain the gold.
I have one other question.
Yes.
What happens if we accumulate gold while we're doing missions?
Well, as long as you don't commit a crime, I see no problem with this.
So we could pay it off early.
Yes, you could.
I have no qualms with what you're doing. I just seem to get in these situations all the time. So I admit to my crime. It seems to be the easiest way out of this.
All right, you admit. Cloak admitted. Skinner.
Are there going to be any choice in the matter of which kind of job we're going to be taking on our back? Because there ain't going to be no assassin for the crown. Ain't going to be no in my rap sheet ain't from going far from here.
Assassination and faraway travels? No, we don't deal in assassinations and faraway travels.
All right.
I would send more trusted people for those kind of things.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess I did, Dan.
You confess?
All right.
All right, good. Puck?
Not a warlock, though. I'm a wizard. If I was a warlock, I would just leave.
Well,
But I'll do the missions, but I'm not a warlock, though.
do you wish to take your case up in court?
No, I want to do the missions.
Oh, you can still do the missions. You just have to do more unless you can bring the gold.
Why, though?
Why do you mean why?
But if I do the missions
Yes.
and I get the gold and I give it to you,
Yes.
I should be able to go with them.
Yes, you can still go with them.
Okay. She starts looking at stuff.
Makes a little scribble on her sheet of parchment. Yes, cloak.
Is somebody standing next to her? Who's standing next to her?
Rufus.
Rufus. I kind of lean over to him and I kind of ask, Can we buy tokens with gold? Or do we just get the tokens from her?
I think that's kind of what I was trying to put across earlier on. You can use the gold as tokens, technically. Yeah.
Oh, I thought the gold was just for the court, but okay.
Yeah, well, if we pay that off, then we can go free, apparently, or whatever.
But what's us to stop from stealing gold from others and just giving it to her?
I'm not saying anything.
Well, for your first mission, I'll send someone along to keep an eye on you. You won't always see this person, but he'll be there watching.
That sounds like a warlock.
Are you saying you have an expertise in warlocky?
No, actually, I don't. What are they like? I just know you don't always see them because I haven't seen any.
I see. Well, from now on, you won't be reporting to me. You'll be reporting to a guard, Captain.
Jeez, man, know your people.
I'm bad with
Captain.
names.
A guard. Let me pick one here.
I wrote down the name. I'm sure of it. Did I just think of? Yes, Captain Geralt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He'll be at the Eastern Second.
Okay. I should
He will
probably get my-
also, once you're done with your first mission, be the one that assigns you more missions, and he will also tell you where you'll be staying.
Captain what?
Geralt.
Captain Witcher. Got
Does he come from Rivet, does he?
it.
No, he comes from Riverside.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah,
I don't
that
like
guy.
him. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I know Riverside.
for your first mission, you will be heading to the East Sewer.
East what?
East Sewer.
Are you familiar with that?
You want to head to entrance 13.
Right. And what?
You'll be led there by a person. Once you have cleared out some of the rat infestation there, bring the proof to Captain Geralt. I would say that 5 rat heads should be enough to prove that you did your task. Yes.
We're
Yes.
supposed to kill rats.
Damn
just have
pest
to go-
control duties
Yes.
around from here on out.
I think he's hungry.
Well, at least we're not cleaning up the poop of the horses.
No, I have
I
people
don't
for
want
that.
to kill rats. I don't want to kill rats.
You don't want to kill rats?
It's really easy. You just crush their little heads.
No, no.
They're real scrawny.
Well, scavenge up some dead rats then or something. Just clear it out. It's really not my problem how you accomplish this.
I'll kill a bunch of them and give you some.
A spectral slender hand appears on the table and picks up a folded piece of parchment, and it floats over to you guys. And she will give this to Puck.
What's this?
This is just a writ of your assignment. Show this to Geralt as well
Okay.
once you're done. And before you leave, I will fit you with the bracelets.
Ooh. Puts out her wrist.
So, everybody present your wrist, please. And she stands up, goes over to one of the bookcases, and takes out a box. And you notice that this bookcase specifically is full with boxes of similar kind. It's basically a rectangular box, quite plain. And she brings it over to the banister and puts it on it. And she managed to balance it. The banister itself is maybe yay wide. And she puts it down there and opens it up. And takes out one bracelet, and it looks kind of big. It looks way too big for some of your wrists. And you, but she acts like this is not a problem. And the bracelet itself is made out of a silvery metal, and it has some engraving on it that you can't quite make out what it means. And she goes over. I suppose she'll go to Cloak first, because you'll be standing closest.
She doesn't extend her hand, and she kind of lowers her eyes, but this one eye is just looking at her defiantly.
You have to give her your hand so she can put it on.
No, don't create a mess. Your wrist.
She looks down at her wrist, which is already kind of chained, but doesn't bring it up for her to put it on.
Your chains to be removed once this is on.
Don't do it, sweetie.
You do not wish to do the missions?
I'm okay with doing the missions. Not killing rats, though.
As I said,
I'll kill the rats.
Killing rats ain't nothing but none.
there's a rat infestation. Clear it out. Bring proof that you did so.
There are other ways of dealing with rats infestation besides killing them.
Well, then deal with them in that manner and bring proof that you did so.
She brings up her arm.
The mage hand comes back, picks up the bracelet, and puts it on puts it over your hand. And as soon as it goes over your hand and it touches part of your wrist, it shrinks and fits nice and tight around your wrist.
How tight?
Tight enough so you can't slide it off. And when you try to slide it, it shrinks even more. And then when you stop trying to pull it off, it readjusts itself to a more comfortable size. And she goes over to each one of you, and Skinny would be next. She lifts it up, and the mage hand picks it up and brings it over to Skinner. And it goes on and adjusts.
Oh, goddamn! I'll inspect it close. I'll tinker with it, but I won't be using any kind of force on it. I'm not used to wearing anything magical.
She goes to Pack next. Aren't you an eager one?
It's pretty.
The bracelet, she does the same thing to you, and the bracelet goes on, and then shrinks.
Wow.
And lastly, Rufus.
Now, I suppose that's one of the defense mechanisms that stops you from tampering with it.
Yes, it is. I would suggest that you don't try to tamper with it too much.
What happens if it, say, takes a hit?
Well, if it's quite a forceful hit, I've heard it's quite unpleasant.
I'll remember that.
I would suggest trying to keep it safe.
Skinner will be trying to see how far he can push it on his wrist, and then he's going to be having a knife and
Yeah.
just kind of wondering to himself.
Well, I should warn you. She takes the box back and put it up on the shelf. If you are found without the bracelets, without it having coming off in the proper manner, uh, I've heard the jail is a quite comfortable place in comparison. We take these kind of violations quite strictly. Uh, I would suggest do the missions, do them quietly, don't make a fuss, and unless you wish to challenge this in court. She looks at Puck. She's a bit unclear what you actually agreed to do.
So is Puck.
Then you'll be out of here in no time. And we won't have to deal with each other again.
Let's get her done.
Thank you for the bracelet.
You're welcome.
Oh, I need my book so I can stop the rats because I don't have
Yes.
any weapons or anything.
You will be regaining your equipment at entrance 13.
Okay.
You mean to say I have to walk all the way over there without my walking stick?
It's not that far. You'll manage.
Skinner might be able to carry you. He's big.
She makes a motion for the guard to take you away. And the guard undoes the chain from the banister and tugs it a little bit and starts leading you out the door.
Well, while we're walking out, Skinner will be kind of turning to his companions and being like, four rays, five rays. That's it. So let's get her done. Gonna skewer some pest control.
What he said.
What did he say?
I don't know.
Oh. Okay.
Did he ask the guard leading them?
No, I think he was talking to us. That's
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
good, because I'm really confused.
Cardling them would just be, what the fuck?
Silence, prisoner.
It's witchcraft.
Spoke when
He's the
spoken
warlock.
to, yeah.
He's speaking deep speech.
Swamp tongue.
Like a warlock.
Is the guard just leading us out, or is
Yeah.
the guard taking us to entrance 13?
He is first leading you out, and then once you're outdoors, he is actually unchaining you. And then, after putting away the chains in a suitable location, basically someone there to take them from him, he's then gonna lead you over to entrance 13 to make sure you get there.
Fair
And
enough.
he'll occasionally look back to make sure you're following.
Puck's gonna be like right behind him.
But he doesn't really seem too interested in actually talking to you guys. He looks like, oh my god, it's not another one of these groups.
What's your name? My name's Puck. My friends call me Bubbles. Some people call me War Eater.
He will turn back at this point though and look at Puck.
Hi.
He has a well-trimmed beard. Some half long hair is brown. He has brown eyes. He looks like he's been doing this for a while. None of your business. Keep walking.
None of your business. Your parents were weird. As follows.
What? Someone steal your sweet roll?
The guard ignores you. What do you all do? Do you follow along?
Yeah, I kind of walk in the back.
Gonna ride all day, gonna ride all day. I bet my money on that long day. He's just
Puck starts skipping to the beat, just next to the guard.
He looks back, looks mildly annoyed, but he lets you have at it, and basically is just happy as long as you don't cause any troubles. He's just leading you to entrance 13. And you start when you start getting close, you can smell that you're getting there. And he's been leading you like through the back streets a bit, and basically avoided the main streets. So it took a little bit longer to get there than the shortest route, but it also kept out most of the crows and everything. It could easily keep an eye on you guys. And before you get there, you can start to smell it. It smells kind of sour, kind of like something is rotting, like waste in general, and it smells quite bad. And as you get to the entrance, you see this sewage opening. It's actually one of those that goes into the wall, and then you're gonna have to go down, rather than having to go down into a hole directly. And it's barred with it's barred with some iron bars. That goes across it, and on it is a heavy lock. You also see that there's one guard that's there posted.
Geralt?
No.
Oh.
This is John. He
Where's all our tools? Where's all our stuff? There's been taken care of.
And-
Been taken off for us. Why we need my skewer?
And next to this entrance, there's also some crates. And as you approach, John goes over and he lifts up the lids of the crates, and your stuff is in there.
Puck runs up to him, and she gives him a hug. Thank you! And she goes and gets her stuff.
She looks at Puck. He looks at Puck, looks at the other guard, and basically mouths, "What is that?"
She hugs her book real tight.
And the guard just shrugs.
Well, sorry. I'll just take my light crossbow, my bolts, my backpack, and my big crocodile dandy knife that I have.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all my gear.
Rufus goes over and takes a stick out of the box and just sort of leans on it.
No, I have my.
Oh, yeah. Having to stand up this long just ain't good for my back.
Yeah, Cloak will kind of go forward and start putting stuff under her cloak, and just finally gets this quarterstaff out and just holds it.
By the way, quick question.
Yes.
Skinner is a sturdy halfling,
Yes.
and he has like he's hard to poison. But
Yeah.
if we go into a sewer, does it count at helping in that anyway? Or
Yes.
okay, good. So I won't have to worry about diseases or stuff like that much.
That much, no. Depending on what you do.
Okay.
Like, don't lick the walls.
Yeah.
Just walking around.
Who's in?
but being like I'll most likely be barefoot and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
You will have some resistance against it, I suppose.
okay, good.
And if since you're used to walking outdoors and stuff and barefoot, it will be taken in consideration because obviously you're still alive.
Yeah.
Yes. The guard that was leading you there, he waves up over your heads a bit like, this is another one of the Lily Silver's charity cases. Uh, once they're done, they're heading for Captain Geralt. Just make sure that whoever relieves you lets them out if they're not back before you get off your shift. And John looks at you guys and go like, "Oh, really? Don't question it." And the guard walks off. And John brings out a key and unlocks the gate, and it squeaks loudly. And I suppose you're going in here.
Yeah.
I'll kind of I'll kind of peek in, and I'll be like, well, look like it's gonna be me who goes in first.
As he's saying this,
Yeah.
Puck skips in through the puddles of the sewer, just running past him.
Ah, hell, son of a bitch! God damn it! I'll be climbing in and kind of yanking back my crossbow, just loading it up.
Yeah. So basically, the sewage tunnel, it's 10 feet wide and 10 feet high. So I would like a marching order.
Right now, Puck's in the front, but she'll probably get distracted by something.
Yeah, and I'm right behind him, trying to become the first.
Yeah, Skinner. And who walks in after Skinner?
I guess I'll go. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Rufus will be at the back, but before he goes in, he'll be like, "Yeah, I get it. I get it. No lollygagging."
Good. And as you're all get in, he closes the gates behind you, and you hear it click. And it is locked. Can all you roll a perception, please?
Yay.
Yes, perception. First roll of the day.
Oh, it's my
12.
Okay, it's not nearly as fast.
12?
4.
19.
19.
1.
I suspected that based on the sound you made.
Mm-hmm.
Cloak. As you walk in, you notice that there's you're not quite sure what you notice, but you notice that something else slinks in through the bars behind you guys.
I look at it. Do I?
And you try to look at it, and it's gone. But you're pretty sure that something came in with you guys.
What does the sewage the pipe look like? Or is there stuff running through it? Is it dry? Is it
This part is mostly dry. This looks more like an entrance access rather than the actual sewer itself. And after about 20 feet, it starts leading down.
okay?
And it goes in a curved tunnel that goes down basically a full level, and it's basically encased in stone. So it's a stone vault, so to speak. That's quite light. The stones are quite light, quite tight. And as you start going down, the slope becomes slippery, and it's increasingly moldy and generally jucky.
Are there any like pools, small pools of water, puddles, things
Yes.
like that around?
And when
Okay.
you get down to the first level, you notice that there's a walkway that's about 5 feet that leads on for as far as you can see, with openings going off to the right and to the left, as well as there's like a trench next to the walkway that's about 5 feet that's filled with some unintelligible water ish liquid.
As soon as she gets in, Puck's gonna like kneel by the nearest pool and start doing this with her fingers, and then you'll see the water kind of spiral up into 2 woman-shaped legs doing the same thing next to her fingers. And she's just gonna sit there and play with it.
And this like trench, it goes along the walkway the whole way. It's about feet lower than the actual walkway. So right now, right in this part, it's quite low compared to where you're walking. But you can also tell that at times this part has been flooded, because you can like see stains on the wall next to you that it's been up both 1, 2, maybe even 3 feet high at one point. And you can just see like where the mold and the unintelligible growing things just starts growing.
I'll when he's playing in the pool water, I'll basically come to the same spot, look at him, kind of like shake my head a little bit, and then kneel down to kind of lean on my hand so that I can like leap in to the bigger area into the water without making like a big splash and noise. And I'll just say, "Come on, it's time to boogie," and I'll get in.
Do you walk on the walkway or in the water?
Uh, I'll, hmm. I'll walk in the water just because I don't mind it as much, and I'm expecting everybody else to walk on the walkway. So maybe I'll have a unique perspective. I don't know.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. The water is about 4 feet deep.
Oh God. Well, as soon as I recognize that, I'm like, yeah, damn the boogie. Oh, God!
And it basically, it's been going at a quite nice slope, and it's like played out, and you would think that like, yeah, it's gonna keep sloping into the water as well, but it's basically just a dead drop. So when you try to like vault over and you land in the water, you
well, in that case, I'll get to the walkway and I'll just get up. Back out.
Puck will hear the splash and go, and then like go and look and see how much water there is. Like she wants to see how the walkway looks where the water's at.
So yeah, you do notice that it's a bit about 4 feet of like some kind type of water. Skinner, you came up completely soaked, and there's some piece of stuff attached to you, and you're not sure what it is. It's gooey.
Oh well, ain't nothing new about it. But when I plunged in, could I like make sure that the string on my crossbow doesn't get wet when I went down?
Yeah, I think you managed to do that.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Cloak?
Yeah, she just kind of stands there with her hand raised.
I think Puck's looking at the water, or else she would ask what's going on.
It ain't pretty.
I guess everybody has walked on them.
Skinner and Puck has. Cloak is probably hasn't. Rufus, you were behind Cloak?
The rear, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you would see, yeah.
Yeah, no. Since Rufus had kind of a natural one when it comes to perception, I've decided that depending on how far you are away, you hear a distinctive sk, sk. You look around, and if you are within viewing distance of him, you can see him. He's trying to light a torch and is not paying attention at all. And I'm guessing everybody has sort of moved far enough away that he can't see them anymore.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'll probably walk towards him and kind of stand there with my hand raised.
It's getting progressively darker in this tunnel. Like at the start of the tunnel, there's some torches that lit some of it, and at points you can see like exit points that lit some light, and you can see some sconces on the walls, but most of them are empty and not lit, so it's getting progressively darker as well.
But at this point, his torch will be lit, and he'll look up and go, oh, Chloe, I didn't see you there. Where's everybody else? Oh, good. I could have lost you there. I suppose we may go on. Yeah?
We shouldn't really try to kill the rats. We could probably just talk to them and try to convince them to leave.
Talk to them? Can you talk to them?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's silly. Nobody can talk to animals.
Yes, I can.
You can talk to animals?
Mm-hmm.
Can you also talk to plants? Because I really do really good plant speaker.
Yeah. I'll probably learn.
I just have these strawberries, and they just don't grow at any time of the year.
I could help.
I might take you up on that. But anyway, let's go and deal with our rat problem, I suppose.
Yeah, but we don't have to kill them, and killing 20 rats doesn't really do a lot if it's an actual infestation.
You're probably right. But at the end of the day, I didn't really want to kill anything, but we'll see what happens. I'm not really much of a killer. I'm more of a gardener.
Okay.
But if they attack me, I won't say what will happen. Because rats can be vicious.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go on. And he'll step in front of Cloak and walk onwards.
I'll follow him.
Meanwhile, Puck looks down at the water and freezes a 5-foot strip of it, then goes down and starts skating across it. And every time she gets to the end, she freezes the next 5-foot step, and she's singing, "We're gonna kill the rats, we're gonna kill the rats," just spinning on this ice luge that she's made through the sewer.
I'm just looking at this amazed. Like, I was amazed by this bracelet, and I'm like,
What? Magic? What is this?
Burglary!
I'm just looking at. I guess that would have been an easier way to go about things than just take a dive.
People like that get burnt on the stake.
True.
Well, I'll just kind of shake my head and then just try to creep on forward with my crossbow in hand, and I'll just kind of be looking at does the magic emit any sort of light when you're doing it?
No, the bracelets are lightless.
No, I mean the freezing magic.
Oh, the freezing magic.
Yeah, there's probably like a dim teal light that happens to the water as it freezes over.
Okay, in that case, especially since the torch is being lit behind us, it becomes evident that ah boy, we got a light sword for us. Gonna be dark as hell when we get to the depths of these guts under the town. Yeah,
Who are you talking to?
you.
Who wants
okay.
the answer?
Okay. I don't know what you said, but I'm not a boy. I'm a girl. And you said
What?
light?
Yep.
Oh, I can do that. And she puts up 4 globules of light that are like right above head in sort of a straight line where she's heading. And as she moves, the lights follow.
Ooh, there's Birdie. And I'll follow with my crossbow in hand.
You move on. Yes, and after a little bit, you come to a first crossing, and you see this tunnel that you're walking in. It goes on forward as well, but it also splits off to the side. And the walkway you're walking on, it goes off to the left. And to get across, you basically have to walk on a little pillar in the middle. That is like a stepping stone to get onto the other side, to get you over. But it's not covering like the full square, and it looks kind of slippery. And the same thing if you want to go to the right, there's also like a little pillar that you can use as a footstep to get up to the next one.
I wouldn't expect that me being a ranger, my natural abilities of not ever getting lost in the wilderness help in any way here.
This is
When
not
we're-
wilderness, no.
Is your natural Korean seers, is it? Yeah.
checking.
But you could roll your survival.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that.
That's a good question. What is your natural trim?
18.
8. And
Oh,
was
sorry.
your
What did
natural-
you say?
It says, what was your natural terrain?
My natural what?
Your primal terrain ability thing. I
Your
think
natural
you have a
terrain.
bit of
Favorable terrain or
favorable terrain, yeah.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Do you don't get that at level 1, do you?
Because
No, I
a
have
ranger,
the-
you pick what
Carry
I
on,
have
I'll
the
have a look.
natural explorer thing,
Right.
and the favorite enemy. Those are the only two special things.
A
that I have.
favorite armor, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you have swamp.
Yeah.
You're particularly
that's what he
familiar in
meant.
one
Yeah,
type of
sorry.
natural environment.
Yeah, when you're in that.
Yeah. Sorry, I for some reason I misunderstood. Swamps are my territory of expertise.
Would you class it as a sewer as a swamp?
It's
Yeah!
It
certainly
sure
swamp-like.
smells like it. And there's as many bugs around.
Hmm. I'd say wading through water wouldn't be a problem for you.
But yeah, I got an 18 on survival, so.
Nah.
Would it
Actually, is there even like, can you have like city as a natural terrain?
So
I think there's like an
Urban.
urban ranger or something.
Right.
I'm not sure.
I'll give you this. Although this is not a swamp, uh, there are certain swamp-like qualities. Like, for example, there's quite a bit of odd smells that doesn't seem too unfamiliar. And you suspect that somewhere along in here, there's also some kind of gases forming due to the waste being dropped. You also realize that unless it floods, you can probably backtrack where you've been because you can actually see your footsteps behind you. You're leaving a trail. You're also noticing that there are footsteps on the ground. Or, well, paw prints rather than footsteps. And you can... you roll quite high, so... you look down at the tracks, and you're pretty certain the most activity of like this creature, probably. Well, you're not quite sure what creature, but seeing that he had a problem with rats, that might tell you something. Most of the prints are leading off to the left.
All right. Well, in that case, I'll do the whole predator squat leader kind of thing, like, and the kind of hand signals of like like whatever that a scout would do in any sorts of like a search party things or anything like that. Puck is right close by, right?
Yeah, she's like where the intersection is. She's waiting for you to make a decision. Like in the middle, she made a platform bison. She's just spinning on it, just pirouetting, just
Okay,
waiting.
I'll do like a hand signal for her to notice, and then I'll like take a look at these, and I'll point my finger right at one of the paw prints on the ground. I'll lead right into the left corridor there, and we'll go after these sons of bitches.
Okay.
And I'll just get up and start going left.
Snake, no.
As he's being all stealthy, Puck's just skipping on the ice, joining.
But yeah, I'm expecting that there's a little bit of a distance between us two and Cloak and Brutus.
Yeah.
Or Rufus. Sorry.
I think there was a bit of a hold up before they kept moving, so they're probably like maybe 15 feet behind. Would that be safe to assume?
Probably.
We're visible to one another, I would presume. Still.
Yeah, you're just not right behind each other.
Yeah, definitely, because you also we both have a light source, so we're probably like you know quite well where we are. I'll as we're turning corners, I'll use my druid craft to kind of boost whatever fungi and stuff is growing on the side, so that we know which turns we need to make.
Okay. As you use a druidcraft and some of the fungi, it actually it darkens in color and just like spreads up on the wall and makes a nice big dark patch on the wall that's looks a bit menacing actually for those who doesn't like this type of mushroom.
It's a
I
mushroom.
kinda pet the
Well,
mushroom.
molds kind of are mushrooms, right?
Alright. That's fascinating. Is it edible?
Is it?
Ooh,
Can I roll my
shrooms.
nature?
Yes, roll your nature.
Stuff you find in the sewers. Is it edible? Delicious.
That is a 16.
A 16. You're pretty sure this is one of the species that, unless you're some kind of creature that lives in a swamp of some kind, like maybe some rodents or some kind of other herbivore that's more headed up swamps, you think that this would probably make you quite unwell.
Yeah, so I kind of shake my head.
Well, suppose we may catch it.
Yes. Skinner and Puck, since you're up front, roll your perception, please.
Yes.
17.
Plus 2. That's baby, that's a 21. Filthy.
Nice.
I don't know.
Well, both of you notice that as you're moving down this corridor, a lot more like trash and some not rubble, debris is starting to line both the walkway, but also along the edges of the water, like something that's been like this. There must be some kind of current in the water. It's not strong, but there might be some. It's basically being stopped somewhere up ahead, you think, because the debris and the trash is just starting to float and like pile against the walls, and you come up to, and the tunnel, it curves a bit. You can see that in the distance as well, because the light you have, it would have like illuminated more, but you can see like a shadow to the side where the light doesn't reach.
All right. Since we've crossed a corner, I'll be kind of waiting a bit for the back end of our party to catch up so that we don't disappear from sight after going past corners and stuff. But yeah, I'll be keeping a firm kind of firing position in further down, and I'll make a mental note about all the trash and all that. The current.
Are we just going down a single tunnel, or are we just taking corners from like sections?
Well, you took one corner from a section, and now it's a single tunnel. This carving.
Right.
Yeah, it was like a T cross section, and we saw the paw prints that led to the left, and that's where we went. But it was pretty similar to the right, but the paw prints just led to the left.
Fair enough.
So yeah, as soon as I see Cloak and Rufus appear closer, I'll just kind of look at everybody and just do a little bit of a nod, and then just continue on just going in deeper, expecting to see something pretty soon, just like staying alert.
All right, you stay alert. Yes. And what does the rest of you do?
Kind of look around. We see more trash collecting, right? What kind of trash is it?
It's it's partly decomposing food. It's there might be some cloth in there, maybe some paper that's dissolving, some pieces of wood,
Okay. Yeah.
like mostly general average items that instead of throwing away properly, someone just dumped into the sewers.
Do I see any, as I kind of examine the trash, do I see any sign of that rats or any other vermin would have been here and already eaten this or
You're
gone through it?
looking specifically for like rat tracks or
Yeah.
vermin? Roll your nature.
Nature. Okay.
Yes, nature.
I rolled a 14, and my nature is 4, so 18.
Yeah, you see clear signs of rat. There's even some rat droppings here and there. There are, well, except for very visible like paw prints and like stuff from the rats and just tracks of them moving. You do see bites on some of the trash. Some of the stuff been like it looks like it's been dragged there rather than just floating up there, and some of it looks eaten on, and some looks just like discarded as well.
Okay. All right. So I kind of lean over to Rufus and say, "There's already rats here, or they've been here."
Really? Oh, I didn't even notice. You see, sort of walks forward and pokes something on the ground, and then steps forward again. He's sort of looking for bits of rats to see if rats would maybe scrap fighting, so that they don't necessarily have to kill them, but maybe we could take tails or something like that.
Roll your investigation.
Investigation. That's plus 0. 10?
10. This is all just trash. So trashy. It's a bit smelly as well.
Yeah.
Something is stuck on your stick as you poke through stuff, and it doesn't seem like it comes off easily. And it's some kind of vague brown mushy shape.
Sort of wipes it on the wall. He
Yep.
continues on.
Are you heading around the corner of the tunnel?
Yep.
Yeah, we follow.
You follow.
I again make the markings, by the way, and follow.
Roll your perception, please. As you move around the corner.
Everyone?
Yeah. You have a quite fair bit of light, so you can all roll perception.
Only 8.
5.
8, 5,
14.
14,
17.
17. Alright, Rufus and Cloak. Well, Skinner and Puck, they're still like focused on moving ahead. Puck is mostly just skating about, avoiding the trash in their pirouettes and like having a general good time. Skinner being slightly distracted by what's going on to the side, but also like being really on the look for hostile creatures coming from the front, attacking, just charging at them, assuming the worst. Cloak and Rufus, you take your time a bit more, and you start to notice that you go around the corner. But first of all, you hear a sound that's not quite what you would have expected for empty sewers. It's a slightly wheezing sound. Maybe some creatures sleeping, breathing. And Rufus, you rolled a 17, right?
Yes.
You do start seeing that some of these lumps are a bit more fussy than others.
Rufus sort of notices that there's something moving in the dark or something. So, he sort of stops and sort of like shuffles down a stick a bit, like he's trying to tie a shoelace. And he sort of says over to Cloak, "Cloak, I believe we may not be alone. Do you see those little bumps and objects? I don't know if I can get the rest of them to pick up, but you, Cloak, can you move really quick and tell the rest?"
You want me to run to them?
That's not a good idea now. We're probably best taking this quietly.
Does Puck notice that they're not like following up?
I would say so. You turn around often enough by pirouetting, so you keep your eye on the back a bit. So you would notice that they're not there anymore.
She's gonna stop pirouetting, and let me make sure. Yeah, she pulls out a small copper wire, and she wraps it around her finger, and she goes, "What are you doing?" and sends a message to Cloak.
Something the matter, Cloak?
I heard her voice in my head.
Ooh, Cloak.
Are
What are you doing?
Are you just hearing things? Are you okay?
I think it's magic.
It's a spook.
Can you talk back?
I could yell at her, but I don't like yelling.
I can hear you.
She can hear me?
Okay, then relay the message. Maybe that'll help.
There are fur creatures here. Probably rats, maybe big ones.
Okay. And she's going to turn over to Skinner, be like, "Rats, that way!" And then she's going to start skating back towards them.
Oh, what? I'll just be kind of like that direction. Yeah, gonna retreat back to the rest of the party right after Puck.
They're coming this way, I guess.
And how quietly are they?
We're going to kill the rats. We're just going.
I can do a stealth roll if I can, because I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, you can stealth
They
roll.
won't
if you want,
notice
but,
you.
yeah, sure. Do a
Okay.
stealth roll if you want.
I rolled a lousy 2, so that's only a 6.
Should I roll stuff?
If you skate about singing, no.
Yeah, I'm blaming you for my lousy stealth.
You move along. You think you're doing it real nice and quiet, and you look at Puck and wonder what the fuck she's doing, and you stumble into some trash and make this loud like noise, and some stuff of the trash goes kicking into the water, and you can hear the wood like hit the walls and go like bonk 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 bonk, and there's something sticky on your foot.
Puck will slide to a stop, turn around, and go, "Shh."
What? Something sticks to my foot?
Yeah, there's something sticky to your foot.
Oh god! I'll like be like trying to like I'll have my foot like in the air, just like trying to kick whatever's stuck on it just off of it, and if I can't get it off, I'll just grab my big Bowie knife and I'll just try to poke
Cut
it
the
off.
foot off.
How much are you kicking about? How much are you kicking about?
I'm trying to avoid making loud noises by kicking, so I'm just basically shaking in the air the foot, and if it doesn't come loose, I'll grab my knife and start poking at it. But that'll, of course, make me not that focused on holding my hands on my crossbow and stuff.
Well, shaking it is not very stuck. It's more like it got stuck because your foot got into it.
Oh,
But
okay.
it flies off and you start shaking the foot, and it splatters a bit and it splatters into the water again, makes some more noise,
Oh, okay.
and you hear this.
Oh, well, it's not like we were that in any way.
Rufus, you hear like some of the sounds. It's like this breathing sound. It stops for a moment, and
You may want to prepare yourself, Cloak.
it doesn't come back, and you hear scuttling. Please roll for initiative.
Everybody?
Yes, everybody. Everybody roll now.
Oh, 20.
Dun, 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 dun.
I got 20, though not natural 20, but all
No, 20 is a good.
included 20. Yeah.
It's a
13.
good.
Yeah, it's nice.
Wait, I need some paper because I don't want to write the stats in my fancy book.
You can do it.
No, it's nice and fancy. Fancy.
Yeah, it is.
What's a Christmas gift? I thought it would be nice for Theo.
Hardback and all. Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
hardback. So I'll write adventure notes, but I won't do the crappy stats and combat stats in it.
Yeah, just need scrap paper.
Yes. Yellow paper.
No, I prefer white.
It's He's yellow.
Racist.
Damn. So,
I believe that's paperist, sir.
Skinner had 20.
Yep.
What's your AC actually?
My AC?
Yeah,
My AC is 14.
14. Yes. Who had the second highest?
I probably have the highest.
What did you have?
26.
Oh, whoa, that's the highest
Damn.
actually.
Ooh.
Wow.
Taking them alert traits.
Anyone else
Yeah.
have above 25?
No.
Anyone between 20 and 25?
Fuck no.
Okay, so Rufus, what the fuck? How do
It's
you even get?
Rufus.
How do you even get to 26?
Fucking monks, man.
I have +8 initiative.
Plus,
Wait, how the fuck do you have plus?
Alert gives me +5, and then my standard must be 3.
yeah, okay. It's like what the fuck. Okay, and your AC was
For Rufus?
Yeah.
16.
did anyone have between 15 and 20 initiative? 10 to 15?
I had 13 initiative, 13 armor class.
Nice. Uh, 13. And cloak?
I'm last. I got 6.
I didn't catch on to Rufus too quick.
And my armor class is 16.
Do you have a modifier on your initiative?
Yeah, I got I rolled a 3 and I got a +3 initiative.
And you had 16 armor class.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Skinner, you're up first.
I thought Rufus
No,
would be.
Rufus are.
Yeah.
Because I.
Rufus.
Yeah,
no, it's
don't
fine.
be-
Everybody goes
Because
for
I am
the
the best at keeping track of initiative.
Rufus steps back and lets everybody else go.
Yeah, Rufus.
What does Rufus see, by the way? So
Rufus sees you rolled a 17. You would see. You clearly see two shapes that you had like spotted before that was a bit furry, and you see that these are actually moving. Both are. What way are you facing?
towards where we were going.
Towards where are you going? Okay, so they're in front of you, and you see them along the wall, like 5 feet apart, maybe 10 feet away from you.
Right, so they're sort of in between us and the other two.
Yes.
Right.
And Skinner and Puck is probably another 5 or 10 feet ahead of that right now, coming back.
Wait, so how far away are we from them?
You're 20 feet away from Rufus.
Got it.
Right. Let me think. Right, so Rufus will actually step up sort of next to what these shadows are to sort of see what they are and what's going on. So he's going to sort of like stick the torch in their face to see what they are.
It's 2 big rats.
2 big rats.
You can see it's clearly 2 big rats.
So immediately seeing that, Rufus is actually going to turn around to them and bellow at them as loud as he possibly can to sort of like scare them or draw their attention.
Roll your intimidation.
Fair enough.
I guess that's your action.
Well, not
It's up to you,
really.
Dean.
No,
You can make
I did want to take a different action,
Roll your intimidation regardless.
regardless.
Yeah, regardless.
It's probably not going to be great anyway, so it's like a 4. Ah,
it. You there?
Okay,
Ah,
and
eat
what
me!
are
I'm over here.
yeah, you can see like these big little eyes like focus on your old man shape, and they look really like that's delicious.
Fresh meat.
Yeah,
Yum, yum, yum.
fresh meat.
And as soon as he does that, he taps a stick and brings it up and goes into a dodge formation. So he's now performing dodge.
Yeah, okay. Skinner,
Do I also notice these shapes?
you see two rats looking at Rufus
Okay.
because they've come out of the shadowy trash.
Okay. I'm kind of conscious of the fact that I have let's see, how many did I have? I have sorry, crossbow bolts. I have 20 bolts. And if I miss and they wind up in the pool water, I'm gonna have to go and fetch them back after I'm done. So I'm kind of trying to be conscious of that and not like recklessly shoot my bolts into the water. But I'll try and shoot one of the rats with my crossbow. Yep.
So you bring up your crossbow, you take steady aim, you look down the bolt, and carefully aims at the creatures. Roll your attack.
All right.
Natural 1.
Don't be like that.
After all that setup, that would be hilarious.
Goes off into the darkness, draws more rats.
King Rat appears.
Your grip tightens as you wait for anticipation to find the right moment between your breasts to shoot the arrow.
Oh, 16.
Oh, that's not
16,
bad.
and you squeeze the trigger, and the
Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Cloak in the background.
He's just a person.
Don't you like my dramatic pauses? As I look for dice.
Just like, what the fuck?
Your arrow strikes the rat head on. Takes it squarely through the middle. Roll your damage.
All right. Only 3 in total.
Damn.
But still, it's something.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Was it a heavy crossbow or a light crossbow?
Like crossbow, I'm
Oh.
too small to wield a heavy crossbow.
Okay, I thought it was a heavy crossbow. That's why I said damn. But all right.
It's 3 damage, you said, yeah?
Yeah.
Gets the bipod out.
Yeah.
Spends 10 minutes setting it up.
Do you do anything else?
I will try to close the distance a bit between our party. I'll try to, since it was like 25 feet between us or something, if
Yeah.
I remember correctly.
It's
I'll
about
try
10
to,
feet to the rats.
okay, but I'll
Or the first rat.
I'll try to move a little bit. No, wait. Do I have to spend an action to reload, or is it like something I could do with a bonus action?
I don't know if that's a light crossbow, does it?
Yeah, I'm
I
not
think
sure.
I think
I
if
can't
your
No, I
crossbow has the
think-
loaded characteristic,
probably.
then you have to spend like a bonus action to load it.
I
or
think that's how it works.
Okay.
Um,
Well,
Oh, yeah. Two-handed loading it.
okay. So basically, I can shoot with my attack action and then spend my bonus action to.
That's
No.
only if it has the loaded. If not, then you can just it
It
says that you can load it for
basically,
free.
yeah, it basically counts like because it is a two-handed weapon. I think I read up on this. You need both hands to shoot with it and reload it,
It does have loading.
which is why you can get a hand crossbow, which you can have 2 of at one point, because it doesn't require your 2 hands to actually operate it in the same manner.
All right. Well, in that case, after shooting, I'll just immediately just put my feet on the cross section of the
Yeah.
crossbow and just yank it back to reload.
Yeah, you can take a bonus action to do that, so you can.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
this is a
what
bonus
I'm
action.
spending.
Yes, Puck.
Hey. Okay, so Puck is going to run up and she's going to go stand in between Rufus and Cloak. And
On the water?
no, she'll get on the walkway.
Between rats.
Is it between rats?
Well, Skinner said he moved up, right? No, you didn't
No,
move
I
up.
was originally going to spend
Okay.
my bonus action to that. but
Yeah,
then
you
I-
could get in front one of the rest then to get between not Cloak, between Rufus and Skinner.
Ah, I see. Okay. I'll just, you know what? She'll stand behind Rufus because he looks like he's patiently waiting for something.
Yeah,
like he's
how
gone
far
defensive.
behind Rufus or Cloak?
I'll stand like 5 feet behind Rufus.
Yeah, but I'm thinking Cloak. How far behind
Oh,
Rufus Cloak would be?
she's standing directly behind him.
Okay, so you would
Okay.
have to, if you want to stand on the walkway, you had to get up behind Cloak.
Okay.
Because the walkway is
Uh,
only 5 feet wide, so you can't really.
Right. She won't do that. Then she'll just stand on the she'll just stand on her little ice platform.
Yeah.
And let's see here. She moves up so she's close to them, within 5 feet of them.
Yeah.
And then does she see the rats?
But yeah, there's 2 rats out in the open right now.
Okay.
One has an arrow sticking through it.
She will raise her hand, and you'll see like a teal light blue frost start to form around it real slowly as smoke rises. Her eyes kind of glow a little bit, and then ray of frost as she just shoots through, hopefully through one of the rats.
That's an attack roll, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let me.
Remember my AC 16, so it's
Yeah, yeah. Let's see here. What is? Okay, spell attack is +5. That's cocked. It's either an 8 or a 20. So I'm gonna re-roll that. There we go. Okay, that's 21 dirty.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Okay, and that's 1d8. Sorry, I'm not used to wizards. 1d8, is it 1d8 plus anything? No, just 1d8. Yeah. Two big damage.
2 big damage. Yes, and you shot the crossbowed one, right?
Yes.
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 2 big damage. Yes. So, you hold out your hand, and this ray of frozen water just hits the rat dead on, and you see it gets soaked, and it gets like some frosty bits in the fur, and it hisses at you for like he's still standing. He hisses. He doesn't look happy. Looks pretty mean actually.
As a bonus action, I hiss back.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yes. Cloak. What
The
will you
rats
do?
don't go before me?
No.
Dang.
All right.
Looking at this situation,
Yes.
am I allowed to roll my either nature or whatever other roll you might want me to roll to kind of assess the situation? Could I try to communicate with these rats and try to get out of this diplomacy wise, or is this just okay, we're now in a fight and we're gonna fight until somebody runs or dies?
Sure. Roll your nature for this.
Okay. Oof, it's not good. I rolled a nature of 5 plus 4 is 9.
9. Ooh, you're not sure. They might attack you for trying to speak to them. They might listen to you. You have no clue.
All right. How big or how small are these creatures?
These creatures are bigger than your average rat.
Are they still considered small or are they considered medium?
They're considered small.
Okay. So
but they're not tiny.
I will can I use my gnome ability to speak to them?
That's Do you have speak with animals?
Well, as a gnome, I can speak with small animals. You can communicate simple ideas with small or smaller beasts.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. So I kind of gesture the sign of peace, or the like. Don't no fighting, no fighting.
Yeah, you can see the rat closest to rat closest to Rufus. You got its attention. Appearing between the legs of Rufus and the stick, basically stares at you. upon there,
All right.
and it cocks its head.
And I'll say kind of like run, run.
It cocks its head and it clicks again. It says communicate right with animals.
Sorry?
Your ability is to communicate with animals.
Yeah, it says here you can communicate simple ideas. So like not
Yeah.
fighting and run, I would consider simple. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. Well, you get the feeling from the rats that it doesn't feel like running because it lives here. What the fuck? You're in my home, dude. Get out.
Okay.
It
This one
hisses at you.
clearly doesn't know on where on the level of, of food chain
Food
he is.
chain, yeah.
But okay. All right. That's probably how I'll spend my turn.
Yeah.
I'll move a bit more to the back because I don't really want to get into this fight. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. So I'll move back like about 10 feet or something.
Yeah. Okay. It's the rats' turns. Right. So the first rat that got both a bit frozen and the balls through it. It doesn't look too healthy. It looks kind of angry, and it looks at Puck that's standing on the ice. It turns to Skinner and scuttles over to you real quick. And for having the arrow in it and looking kind of hurt, it moves surprisingly quick. And it attacks you.
Was it within range of Rufus's attack range?
Not this one.
Right.
Yeah, I'm 25 feet away from you at the moment, so
Yeah.
if it's
This one is closer to Skinner. So it attacks you, and it tries to bite your feet, but obviously doesn't know where your feet are because that's a miss. Yeah, that's a big miss. Yep. The other rat that you can see, it turns towards. Well, it still turned toward Rufus. It goes for Rufus. It's
You roll at a disadvantage, you know that, yeah?
disadvantage.
Yeah.
Can't get worse. Still can't get worse. So that's fine. And being kind of distracted by Cloak trying to speak with it, it doesn't strike you at all when it tries to bite you. Skinner, you hear movement behind you, and this soaking wet rat crawls out of the water. And
is it the same size and shape
Yeah.
and all that? No.
it's the same. It's giant compared to normal rats.
Like cat size or something?
They would
Small
probably
dog, maybe?
be- Small dog, small cat, maybe. They're pretty
Okay.
big rats.
Okay.
And it comes up and it bites you hard. It's a 21 to hit.
Well, you have my AC there.
Yeah, that's why I said it's a hit. That's why I said it's a hit. No, that's the wrong dice. That's the dice I want.
Damn, that's my big toe.
Actually, I should roll again
Hang on, man, I got
because
my big toe.
8 has a friend on the other side of you. So you get a little bit of bonus for attacking.
Whoa.
Yes, but the first one was the highest roll. So no crit for you. You take 5 points of piercing damage at the rat's teeth sink into your heel.
Okay, well, I let out a primal scream of yeah, and I'll be like, oh, goddamn, son of a bitch, and I'll just be flipping out like a maniac from the pain of getting like that's almost half of my hit points gone a single bite.
Jesus.
So.
Yeah. And another rat comes up with the water and crawls onto the icy space where Puck is standing and goes in for the bite. But skids a bit on the ice and doesn't seem to get its grip and misses you. And goes back into the water. Right, that's the rat sounds. Rufus, what you doing?
Apparently death staring a rat. Um, I'll turn to Cloak and have a quick conversation. So, did they want to fight? And then he will do exactly as he was before and go into dodge.
We're in their home.
Except this time he sort of crouches down and then tries to like pet the rat.
Yes, you want to pet the rat?
Yeah, sure. But he's still on guard, sort of thing. So
Well, you start moving your hand down, but the rat hits at you. You think, no, that's a bad idea.
okay,
So you take your dodge action, and that was your bonus action to try to pet it, and it did not want to get petted.
that'll do.
Skinner,
Hmm?
your turn. You
Is
are
there any?
flanked by rats.
Yeah. Is there any penalty to shooting a crossbow in at close range? Basically, somebody
Disadvantage?
else.
Yeah, all
Disadvantage.
ranged. Yeah.
Oh shit. I'm contemplating whether I should just shoot it with disadvantage or grab my big knife and slash at it, but my strength and the knife's damage is less than my dexterity and my crossbow's damage. So I think
Damage. Damage hit is always damage.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Well, I'm gonna use my bonus action to get my my knife
Yeah,
from my belt
and put away the
uh,
crossbow a little bit nicely.
yeah.
Does
Yeah.
does the knife have the finesse trait? Because if it does, you can use your dex instead of your strength.
Oh,
If it's classed as a dagger,
I think it's
technically?
just a dagger.
Yeah,
I think then it should have finesse.
yeah, but it already counts the finesse. But it's just the dagger only does 1d4, and the crossbow, of course, does 1d8.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah, but if it's
yeah,
finesse,
you
I
can
have
use
I have.
you can use dexterity.
Okay, well that's better. Then I'll just take my knife and I'll just slash at the rat that has already the bolt on it.
Yeah,
Which I'm
roll your
trying-
attack.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah. 6.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah. You take this knife and you aim real careful and you strike stone.
Yeah. It's dark and I'm in pain, so I'm just
Yeah.
cursing up a storm. I'm just letting out every curse word in the book. That I know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Puck. What you doing?
Oh, is it me?
Yeah.
Oh shit. I'm taking aim at the rat that I saw put down my buddy Skinner, and
Yeah.
again you'll see the frost form as she reaches out and ray of frost.
On the damage one?
I'm sorry.
On the damage one?
Yes, on the
Yep.
damage one. Yes, correct.
Roll your attack.
Come on, baby. That's a filthy 23.
No, that's a good hit. You hit it straight on.
Yes, come on, be an 8. Be an 8. 5. That's 5 damage.
5 damage. That does it. And your frost hit the rat, and you can just see the ice covering the body, and it goes stiff and falls over.
She's gonna go yay, and she's gonna just start like jumping up and down, clapping. That's her turn.
Yep. All right, Cloak.
How many rats are left now?
3.
3. And
Is that including the one that was after me but then fell back into the
Yeah.
water? Okay.
okay? And there's still one attacking Skinner, right?
Yeah.
How far away from me is it?
It is. You backed up a bit, right?
Yeah, 10 feet.
10 feet. So 10, it's about 30 feet.
Oh, 30 feet. Okay, that's
Maybe 35.
Then I take a step of 5 feet in the forward, and I'll just I'll hiss a bit, and I'll kind of point my fingers at it, and bugs and stuff out of the dirt start to come and start to bother the rat.
Is that your.
Nice.
That's my spell, and he'll have to roll a Constitution saving throw of 13.
13. Right. Pretty sure that's a fail. That's a fail.
Nice. Then it takes 5 points of damage
Nice.
from all the bites and stuff, and it has to move. I don't know if you want me to roll or you want yourself to roll
I'll roll.
in a certain direction.
It moves 5 feet away from Skinner. On the walkway.
All right, okay, if that's
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sorry, which rat is it? Is it the wounded one or the...
The wounded one is dead. This is one that bit your heel.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Oh, I missed the wounded one dying, sorry.
It fell over from frostbite.
Oh, there you go, okay, yeah.
But since it moves out of his attack range, doesn't he get an attack of opportunity?
No,
it does
doesn't
not.
trigger attack of
Fuck,
opportunity.
fuck. Okay.
It doesn't look healthy though. Once that all the bugs are gone from it again, it looks like it's got eaten quite a lot from it and like bitten quite a lot, and it's you can see like splashes of blood in the fur and everything. It looks like darker wet spots.
Okay.
Yes. It's the rat's turn. Let's see. We have the rat having a stare off with Rufus. It goes in for a bite at a whooping 12.
Disadvantage.
At a whooping 11.
Doesn't really make much of a difference, but sure.
So that's a miss. Doesn't quite seem to be able to tell the difference between the stick and feet. There's a rat going for Puck. That makes another swim attack and launches itself up on the ice. And it does a whooping 10 for armor class attack. And
Puck's just
yet
dancing
again,
around it.
this ice is really confusing. And there's a rat that just got bitten quite badly by some bugs. And it looks at Skinner with its beady eyes. And it launches for a bite and completely misses your foot again.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, it's
I like that.
it's a bit turned around. It seems one of the bugs got to its eye. It doesn't see very well anymore. Yeah. Rufus.
Right. Seeing like he's just dancing with a rat now. he's gonna sort of like he was in sort of a crouched position. He's gonna stand up and he's go, "This seems a bit overkill," and then just sort of walks off. Just keeps walking down the tunnel. If he takes an attack opportunity, he's gonna take it anyway. So
Yeah. Well, it's a miss.
okay.
He tries to bite you and he doesn't succeed.
Can't fuck with this old man.
He
Master
just keeps
Splinter up in this
walking.
bitch.
Walking, and he probably catches and passes like the rest of the group. So he does. He's like,
Does he walk by Cloak or does he walk by Skinner?
we were going further into the tunnel, so
Past Skinner.
Skinner.
that's Skinner.
There's a rat you can't pass through though. So you can get to Skinner but not past Skinner.
Is
I'd be able to
there
hop over it?
Well, I guess you...
possibly it is small? You probably would just step over it.
Well, it takes up the same amount of space because it's also a small beast, and you're a small humanoid, right?
Medium.
You're medium. Okay, then you can. No, yes, can they?
I guess
Okay,
I
you're-
would allow him to do like an athletics roll or
Yeah,
an
roll
acrobatics roll
an
to kind of
athletics,
hop
acrobatics,
over it.
acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be great. That's a 8.
So
The
while
one rat
I'm
that
there
gets him.
struggling with a rat, suddenly a human just tries to jump over me. My God.
You don't succeed so well with going over the rat. You end up in the water next to it. You go past Skinner, who's like, "Wait, where do you come from?" And there's a rat, and you try to step over the rat, and Skinner is confused, and the rat is confused, and you're confused, and there's space in the water. You're in the water.
Ah, god damn it! I got my cloak wet.
Yeah. Uh,
That's
Skinner.
it. That's all he does.
Skinner, it's your turn.
Can I use a bonus action to help lift him out of the water? Can I spend my bonus action on that? Like basically just give him a hand and yank him up so that he doesn't have to use his turn.
No, that would be your action.
Probably be an action.
Okay. All right. So the rat was trying to attack me, so I'm guessing it's again like at close range.
Mm-hmm. It's right next to you.
All right, then I'm gonna be stabbing at it again. Here we go. 15.
15. That's a hit.
All right, and then that's 5.
5 damage. It's
Yeah.
enough. You manage to nicely slice it in half as you bring down
Nice.
your big dagger.
How do you like that, you son of a bitch?
Yeah, you stand there, you're covered a little bit extra.
It tastes of cold steel, you son of a...
Yeah, alright. Puck.
Okay, so I see that the two around him are dead.
Yeah, there is one
There's-
swimming around you, or next to you. Just,
Yeah, that one hasn't done a damn thing. What about is there another one?
Yeah, there's one on the walkway as well that's also haven't done a damn thing except dancing with Rufus.
Can I
We can dance if we want to.
leave our friends behind? Can I use the shape water spell to make a 5-foot cube of water just come up and try to drown the rat that's trying to get me? Just press 5 feet of cubic water on it until it drowns and dies.
You wanna drown the rat on the ground.
Yeah.
Sure, you can use an action to try to do that. I suppose. Yeah.
Cool.
Making the terrain a little bit difficult. At least as well.
Well, it's 5 feet of cubic water. It's
Yeah.
pretty difficult ass terrain, but yeah. Yeah. So I try to drown the rat.
Yeah. Roll your
Your
What
rat
spell
drowning?
is that?
Shape
roll
water.
your
Alright.
magic ability. Roll a d20 and
That's-
add your magic ability modifier to it.
Okay.
So that will be your intelligence.
Okay.
Yes.
16. Hold on. 17, 18, 19.
Okay. You managed to hold down the water on the rat quite well. And you
Okay.
make it a bit pressed so it doesn't quite float to the top either. It stays in the water itself because you're pressing hard and you're focusing real hard with your magic ability to keep in the water shaped. Yeah.
Okay. And I'll use my movement to go walk onto the walkway
Yeah.
and kind of be closer to where they are, so that
Yeah.
the drowning rat's on this side, I'm here, and they're over here,
Yeah, okay.
and I'm just trying to drown it.
Alright, you have Rufus and Skinner on your side and Cloak is probably still on the other side of the rat. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cloak, what do you do?
I kind of look and I'm not really sure what to do. I'm kind of horrified that this rat being drowned by this blob of water. Uh, I just spend my turn just kind of looking around and just horrified by all this.
Roll for terror.
Yeah, insanity point 1.
Yeah, roll for madness.
Now we're playing Arkham Horror.
Well, nah, not quite yet. Yes. It's the rat's turn. The rat is gonna use a little bit of a strength check to try to crawl its way out of the water.
Okay.
It gets a little bit, and then it's like it tries to breathe while doing it, and just swallows water, and you can like, and it doesn't look so healthy.
Oh dear.
Or it doesn't look like it's doing so well. At least it doesn't look like
Right.
it's drowning yet, but it's slowly going there. And then there's a rat in the water who sees you doing this to its friend. So it comes out of the water and goes in for a bite at 12 to hit.
13.
And it managed to get up on the ground behind you, and it bites, but it doesn't quite succeed doing anything.
Yep.
So yeah, Rufus, what you doing?
Well, kind of brushing myself off with the water, so I will attempt to get out of the water onto the walkway again.
Yeah, easily enough. It's not that high. It's just well.
Okay, and then
yeah.
remember that I forgot my torch over there. Glad I didn't land in the water with that. So I'm gonna dander back over, grab the torch.
So you're gonna dander back past Skinner, over Puck, and past the droning rat.
Pretty much, yeah.
Roll your acrobatics.
Forgot it.
5
Roll
times.
your acrobatics.
Actual 20.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, you just like bounce off the walls, and you have to go past both Puck and the drowning rat. And you see water, like no, not more water. And you just like take a leap to the side of the wall, bounce over on the other side of the wall, and then back on the land.
Jackie Chan shit.
Grab the torch.
And you grab the torch, and you lean on your walking stick, and goes like, "Damn, that was hard."
Why do I have to do all this effort? And then start standing towards where everybody else was again.
Well, you're gonna stand next to the rat in water, because there's another rat. There's Puck, and then the rat that tried to just bite Puck, and you don't really have enough of your energy this round to quite do the same maneuver again.
All right. Well, I will put. Well, that would have been my full movement, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And your bonus action.
And my bonus action.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll just stay alert and go into dodge.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Skinner.
I killed the rat that was right next to me. There's still a rat in the water.
No, it's on
attacking.
land now. It's next to Puck. It's 5 feet from you, or 10
Okay.
feet. 10 feet.
Is there a chance if I shoot it with my crossbow that it'll hit Puck?
If you roll extremely bad, but you don't have disadvantage because it's not in melee range.
All right, I have the crossbow already loaded because I shipped it to my knife. So I'm basically just gonna see when I see that rat harassing Puck, and I'm just gonna go, God damn it, and try and shoot at it. So here we go. That's a natural 1, but I'm a halfling, so I'm lucky. I get to roll that again.
God, man.
Yeah, and roll again.
Oh, that's only an 8 plus 4, so that's 12.
A 12, that's just enough to hit it.
Ooh, very nice. Very nice. So, damage. That's 8.
8
Hell
points
yeah.
of damage, nice. You lay on your aim, and you're about to slip up, and you manage to aim your crossbow down instead of like up as you were about to do, and the arrow goes straight into the rat and goes straight to the neck and bolts it to the ground.
All right. I'm like, as if that's exactly what I was trying to do, and nothing to do with luck at all. I just lift my crossbow up like in an action movie poster or something. And I'm like, yep, that's how we do it.
Yeah. Puck,
Blub, 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 blub.
you're doing your blub 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 blub.
Mhm.
Yes, cloak. Cloak?
Oh, cloak. Sorry, I thought you said okay. No,
I did say okay. Did I say cloak?
Cloak just kind of stands there and she's observing all of this and just sees the blood spatters of this rat just being pierced to the ground like oh, and she just stands there and wants it to be over.
Okay. The rat is gonna do one more last feeble attempt of getting out of the water. And it's feeble indeed, because that's a mighty 6 on the strength check.
Blub blub.
It blub blubs and it goes limp.
Wow.
Drowned.
Are we out of combat?
You're out of initiative.
Or I'll drop the water and go. Did it! I killed 2. And I'll go and pick up the bodies.
Yeah, so I'm doing
Start
this.
cutting off their heads.
No, actually, Skinner will kind of like once
Live
the
up to his name.
tension kind of is released, he'll kind of sit on his ass and lift his foot up where he's been bitten, and he's like, "Ah, son of a goddamn piece of no good, son of a piece of trash," and I'll just be looking at it and try and squeeze and mend it and kind of whatever comes to mind from somebody like me to mend
Poultice.
a bite
Yeah.
wound.
Poultice made of sludge.
You tend to it, you manage to stop the bleeding. It hurts a bit when you walk on it, but you can still walk.
All right.
Rufus will actually turn to Cloak and be like, Cloak, you might want to come with me. This next bit's not too bright. And he
I'll
sort of
also-
dander on past all of this gore.
I'll also make a point of retrieving my my bolts from the 2 rats that I've shot bolts into.
Yeah. And seeing it is 10:33, I am actually gonna break it off here.
All right.
And hopefully when we continue, it will be with the same party. Otherwise, I'll make up some nice excuses.
Nice.
This is what always happens with one shots. They never
Yeah.
quite really emphasize
Yeah.
on the one.
No, but this is actually planned to be able to be continued, so it's not too bad. And
Yeah.
it's not too important to the story that all of you are there, because it's workaroundable.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's okay. I think I went into the rat fight a bit too much.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And hopefully next week we will be back to with our normal campaign. Hopefully. Fingers crossed, I keep saying
Yeah.
this.
Hopefully. yeah.
Otherwise, we have a one-shot to continue. That isn't a one-shot.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.